Hi, I'm Tasha and I'm the founder of flowē, and I'm just here to give you guys a little tutorial, show you how it all works, what you can do with it, and just run you through the whole thing. So we offer the creative planning project, which is our planner designed specifically for creatives, and a little overview. It's combined with a workspace and a framework. The workspace includes project dashboards and where you would work on things on a day-to-day basis. The framework is more working on one specific project and really developing your creative process. It's split into 6 modules and it walks you through the entire process step by step from coming up with that idea to portfolio. We offer the creative planning project in 7 different colors so that you can choose a color that really inspires you and just an aesthetic that gets you wanting to create every day. We really took a lot of time with the colors. Everybody has a different style, different visual cues that resonate with them and that inspire them to create, so we really wanted to make sure that our product was reflective of that. So for the sake of this demonstration, I'm going to use the cloud edition. That's kind of our signature edition. When you first go in, we've got a little space that will explain how to set up your Notion workspace. So if you're new to Notion, this is exactly how you set up your template. You'll just set up an account and then click the link to the planner, and then you'll duplicate it and it'll be added to your workspace. And then a few playlists from Notion that teach you how to use Notion if you're very new to the platform. And then we've got a guide which will walk you through an overview of the planner. And we'll start here. So with a little navigation so you can easily access your workspace, the framework, any resources. You can also put up your most used, so your project or any other tabs in this workspace that you use a lot. And then we've got this little place here with just a few little emojis and just to put something that you find inspiring there so that as soon as you open up your workspace, you're just like right and ready to create. And then you've got your resources. So that can be anything that you use on a day-to-day basis. Could be Google Docs, could be Adobe products, could be playlists you really like, any YouTube videos that get you inspired or things that you go back to on a daily basis. You can link them here so they're really easy to access every day. Then we've got your workspace. This is split up into 4 sections. You've got a project dashboard, which is where you will plan and develop your projects. You've got a planning space. This is where you'll do most of daily planning. So we've got a calendar, weekly plans, your creative process. So this is a snapshot of all of the methods that you use to create. And then you have a portfolio. So this is where all of your finished projects will go, and you can create portfolios to share with clients, to share with professors or employers. We also have the framework. So this is the 6-step method to creating a project. It'll also walk you through diving deep into your creative process and understanding how you like to create and the methods you choose to do so. That starts with finding an idea all the way to portfolio, and then we've got resources at the bottom. So all of the templates from the framework are duplicated into this section so that you can easily access them and use them to your convenience. You can add them anywhere, all here, so that they're just really easy to find again. Any resources mentioned in framework, there's different resources mentioned, different articles throughout the framework, so that might be helpful to have so you can reference back those. And then for each color we have an inspiration. We've made a curated playlist and Pinterest board just to get you really in the mood to create. The playlists are all instrumental, so they're great to put on the background while you're making something. And then we've got a feedback tab, so we really want to make the creative planning project the best that it can be. It is made for creatives by creatives, but we really want to hear what you have to say about it and what would be helpful. So using that feedback form, we really want to hear your thoughts. This is a new product, and so we just really want to make it the best that it can be. Okay, so we're going to start with our project dashboard. This is where all of your projects will live. In each project, you can connect your project plan, which will live in your daily planning space. You can create a project outline, which is a little lower down on the page. You can connect a portfolio for your project. You can connect any brain dumps or reflections. You can also connect a project link or any files, media attached to this project. You can also put in tags so you can sort your projects. So maybe you do different mediums. So maybe you do art and writing, so you want to separate them into different tabs. You can easily do that with tags. And then as you go down here, this is everything you will work through in the framework. So you've got your project's initial roadmap, you've got your project motivation, your project inspiration, your project vision, your final product, all of these core components of a project that you will fully develop throughout the framework. And then you've got an idea jar. So this is where you can store and develop ideas. We have a idea breakdown framework in here. So this is where you'll store an idea and then you can break it down and really get into the depth of that idea. You can also just use it to store ideas. You don't need to break it down. We've got a place for project assessment. So this is where you can really go into how the project's going, do a good reflection on it, see what's working, see what's not, and then adjust from there. And then you've got project drafts. So any draft, so first draft of a novel, maybe the outline of your painting, anything like that, that can be stored in your project draft so you can see the entire process. That is your project. And when you go to make a new project, you just hit new page and a new project will populate with the exact same process as before, the exact same pages, ideas so that you can develop your project the exact same way. Then you have just a regular idea jar so you can brainstorm ideas for new projects. I love idea jars. When you're on the go, you get a spark of inspiration. You can just easily write it down on your phone, which is so helpful, I find, because I usually keep my ideas in my notes app before I started using flowē, before I created flowē, and they'd just be an absolute mess. I'd have no idea where anything was, but to just put them all in one place, it's so nice. You can also create a new one and archive any idea jars here. This is where you can store your outlines. So there's lots of different outlining templates that are accessed through the framework, and this is where you will outline your projects, and then you can connect any outlines to what project they're related to. So this could be a 3-act story structure. You could outline maybe each song of an album, anything like that. Your outlining process is truly unique, but this is where all of those outlines will go. And this is a finished projects database. This is where any finished projects will go, and this is synced to your portfolio, so you can see that all in that section. That is the project dashboard. Next, we'll go into the creative process. So this is a snapshot of all of the methods that you use to create, and you will develop this again through the framework. So how you like to collect inspiration, your brainstorming process, how you deal with creative block. We've also got an artist inspiration tab for mood boards and songs, or anything that just inspires you as an artist that's not project specific, how you unplug, everything like that. This also comes with a creative journal that's split into 6 sections, so you can track and reflect on everything. You can do different entries. So if you do morning pages, this is a great spot to do that in. You can just easily add a journal entry, any reflections, lessons learned. We also have brainstorming and inspiration, so all of your collages that you create, any mood boards will all be stored here. Mind maps, you can create mind maps really easily. Brainstorms as well, you can create them. We have a framework for doing that that's really effective, doing action items afterwards. And again, we've got an idea jar here, same thing as always, same with the other idea jars. And then we also have a self-assessment. So this is where you can reflect on your creative process and just your creative work in general, not project specific. That is your creative process. Next, we'll go into the planning space. So this is where you will do all of that daily planning, that session planning, all of that will go in here. Daily planning, we have a daily planning framework. You can connect any goals, any milestones, any actions in this, and any projects that you're working on throughout the day. And then in each daily, we've got your to-dos, your goals, and your creative. You've also got your schedule, so you can time block everything, and then any sessions that you have for that day that you've planned out will appear here, and then you've got a little reflection so you can see what's working at the end of the day. You also have session plans, so these are where you can plan individual sessions. Again, you can connect it to all of these things. This is where you can set session goals, make notes, make reflections, and really dive deep into each session. So a session can be anytime you're sitting down, dedicated time to work on your craft will be a session. You also have a reflection. You will add your own reflections to this, and that'll be walked throughout the framework. So any reflection method that you like, it will instruct you on how exactly to add this to your calendar so you can use it in the way that works for you. Down here you have a weekly plan. So this is just your weekly overview so you can see everything going on in the week. You can add a new weekly plan, and you can easily drag this and archive any weekly plans as well. In here you'll have your daily and session planning method, how you like to plan your days, how you like to plan your sessions, and then your dream life and your dream day, your big goals, your big visions for your life. So you can reference that back and continue to work towards those on an everyday basis. Your project plans will also be stored in here. So this will go into goals for the project, phases, any supplies, budget needed for the project, your time commitment for the project, and you can easily connect that to your project. You can easily create a new project plan, and it will have the exact same framework in here, the same goals, everything like that. You also have a timeline view, so you can see your projects in a timeline view. It is a really nice visual representation of what's going on in the timeline for it. You also have your creative goals. So these are non-project related goals that are just like your main creative goals and actions that you want to take on a daily basis to achieve those goals. We really believe in breaking down goals into smaller items. So we've got big goals, so big visions for your life, big visions for your creative work. And then you've got milestones. These are like the big little milestones that you'll hit on that way to that big goal. And then you've got your actions. So these are the actions that you'll be taking on a daily basis to achieve those milestones and to achieve that goal. So that is the planning space. And then I will head over to the portfolio section. So each project can get its own portfolio, and you can connect that to the project. You can also do singles. So if there's a thing that you wouldn't consider like a full project, but it's just a piece of your work, you can also add that in the singles section. You will be walked through exactly how you like to store your work, making templates for your portfolio, all of that. We've got lots of different templates for portfolio that you will be walked through how to integrate that. You've also got finished projects. So all of those finished projects from your project dashboard will move over to here and will be synced in here so you can see all of that in your portfolio. And then you have your professional portfolio. So if you have a link, a doc, a website, anything like that, you can embed that in here for your professional portfolio so you can really easily access when you're sending to employers. customers or potential clients. So that is your workspace. Your workspace is really here to work with you every single day. It's made to be really adaptable, customizable. You can customize every single thing in this workspace. You can change any template, any color, any word. That is why we chose to work through Notion. It was such an easy place for people to take what we have created and then make it their own and customize it. And that's what we have done with the workspace, is we've given you the foundation and given you tools, and then you can build upon that and change it and make it work for you in your own process, because creating is so unique and so different, and we all have a different workflow, and it's so important to honor that and to work with that, not against it. Now we're getting into the framework. This is like the meat of the creative planning project. This will walk you through, as I've said, the entire process. So finding an idea, collecting inspiration, project planning session and daily planning, reflections, and portfolio. So I'll go into finding an idea so you can get a good view on what each of these modules will look like. Comes with a brief overview and how to use. So any page with a heart is something that's going to be synced to your project dashboard. So that will be like your project mood boards. That'll all be synced to your project. Anything with a circle will go into your creative process. So all of your methods, all of your techniques, everything about you as a creative will go in there. And any page with a square will go into your planning space. So your session and daily planning, your life visions. Any other pages are worksheets and exercises. So there'll be exercises you can go through to build upon to these bigger pages. This comes with a content. This is a progress tracker, so you can track where you're at in each module. Say you're in progress, you can complete it, you can add thoughts, any action items and follow-ups to that. Each module is split into either 2 or 3 little sections. This is our brainstorming section, so you can brainstorm with images, words, themes, and then you will develop that in a brainstorm process. This is where you'll develop your unplug method. This is where you will refine, so you'll break down your ideas. We really go in depth on our idea breakdown formulas, and in here you've got different exercises. You can take images and break down words from it. You can do brain dumps, you can do mind maps, word association. All of that stuff will be explored in this section. Finding an idea is really about finding that initial spark, starting off that project, coming up with ideas, brainstorming, and figuring out how you like to brainstorm in those ways that you like to do so. In the next module, collecting inspiration, this is all of the inspiration, everything that inspires you as a creative, and anything that inspires you for this project that you are going to be building throughout this framework. Again, we have the same contents, project tracker. You'll be collecting inspiration from images, any outside sources, so artists, playlists, anything like that. We go into depth on analyzing your inspiration, so you know exactly why you like it, where it's coming from, what it's informing, and what you really want to take from it. This next module is project planning. This is the biggest module of the framework. This will go into your motivation, your goals for the project, the concept development of the project, the vision for it. You'll go into dealing with your creative block and it inspires you as a creative and what is really inspiring this project. You will be outlining, setting budgets for your project. Everything like that will be done in project planning. This is a really comprehensive module. There's so many key things in here. This is session and daily planning. So this is where you will be going through things on a daily basis, different methods, getting a routine around your creativity, understanding how you like to practice your creativity on a daily basis. That'll all be covered in this module. We also have reflections, reflecting on yourself as a creative, reflecting on the projects, different reflection systems, how you like to reflect. You like to reflect monthly, daily, weekly. What does that process look like for you? And then we've got our last module, which is portfolio. And this will be going through methods that you can use, templates you can use to create your portfolio, understanding your process when it comes to portfolio making. You can really see your work. You can understand how far you've come. You can see the progress you're making. You can see what's changing, what's evolving. You can notice themes throughout your work. Even if you're not sharing your work with anyone, building a portfolio can be such a valuable tool as a creative. It can provide so much inspiration. That is the creative planning project. It was made to be used in so many different ways. Everything that goes into it, everything that is there, it is so meant to be customizable, and there's so many templates in here, so many different options for you to use. You can really take this and build upon it. We really looked at it as like, we have built the foundation for you and now you need to build the house. So take this, run with it, make it your own. With each purchase comes with a complimentary setup call, so we will walk you through how to set up Notion in general, how to use Notion, and also how to set it up for your specific creative work and how you like to work, and different things that might be helpful for you, so we can really customize it to your specific needs. But that is it. That is a creative planning project. I will leave all of the information down below if you're interested. This has been such a long time in the making. I am a creative myself. I've poured everything into this. I absolutely love creating more than anything else. It is my favorite thing in the entire world, and just to bring something into this world that'll help creatives plan and organize and really just get into that flow state. It's so exciting. So can't wait to hear what you think. I hope you enjoy, and thank you so much for watching this video.